Most dragon species that slayers must contend with are able to be read with some ease. The Hellbasker's char-burnt scales betray a flaming proficiency. Shearwinters are acrobatic, and their split tails display this, and most have 2 powerful wings and 2 rear talons. You can expect an aerial component to the confrontation. So imagine their confusion when met with a water dragon that erupts with flame, whose huge body possesses 4 sturdy limbs and somehow little wings on its back? The beast that devours forests, yet hungers for the destruction of towns. A creature of contradiction that will require the best Dragonslayers to wrangle. And that is why I have called you here today. I'm Sawyerly, and welcome back to the Dragonslayer Codex. Dragons are dangerous animals, and so we need to cover some general points before facing it. Its description, appearance and characteristics, ecology and behavior, distribution, and of course, survival strategy or battle tactics. To begin, with its characteristics. Or how to identify the dragon in the field. Important work, but you knew that. This species has several regional names such as Kumad, Folmak, and Maifwimmer, all which translate to burning foe of the wide-eyed, sometimes translated as the youth. Common tongue calls it the maid stoker, in reference to old tales of dragons devouring princesses. The name seems to reference the famed ill temper of this species. A common joke among locals is that the beast is so irritable because of its aberrant appearance. It has large forelimbs with 2 claws on each hand, a heavy-set body supported by thickly muscled rear limbs, winglets on its back, and perhaps, strangest of all, a pair of raised orbits atop its head, which itself caps on a sinuous neck. Stories say this chimeric beast cannot decide how to even walk, as specimens have been seen patrolling either a bipedal or quadrupedal gait. It is seen most often in a coat of cream-colored scales which fade a pale blue on the underbelly and neck, a visual warning of the intense flames within. Knowing the base appearance of this species, we now need to assess its temperament and habits to ensure a proper approach. Maidstokers are semi-aquatic dragons that inhabit rivers and waterfalls, hardwood swamp, and large deltas. They have a strong preference for moving water and seem to find comfort in the roar of the river. Keen eyes will notice that, like crocodiles, the dragon rests underwater with its eyes poking up to scan the surface. Their strange raised orbits evolved to better see with the immense bulk of the dragon hidden beneath the surface, leading some to mistake this as a much smaller beast. But unlike crocodiles, they're not seeking meat. The Maidstoker is a herbivore who gorges on aquatic plants that grow in rushing rivers. Here, the aforementioned talons see their use. Their oversized, rigid form is perfect for clinging to the riverbed and keeping the Maidstoker in place while feeding. They may also devour the plant life growing on the shore as well, for the vegetation not only fuels its body, but also the dragon's fire. Methane gas extracted from digestion is stored in a vastly oversized flame gullet. It's in the name. Maidstokers use the built-up methane to produce one of the most intense fires known to dragonkind, both in heat and volume. They are a walking oven who looks for any excuse to shed their flames. Extremely territorial, expect to see charred ground wherever the species is active. They mark this territory by a combination of scent marking and scorching. The heat seems to make their pheromones smell even thicker. It's been described as a metallic and warm in its scent. Territories consists of a large female, subordinate males, and her daughters. Intruders are met with elaborate fire displays as a measuring stick to determine if a fight is even worth having. All of this fire breathing needs fuel to match, and the Maidstoker must consume as much plant life as possible to meet the demand. The dominant individual eats the most, and thus has the best fire and highest status in the group. It may seem precarious that the animal relies so heavily on plants, yet burns everything so willingly. Therein lies the balance. A tyrant individual who eats every last plant and burns the rest is easily defeated by an invader who knows when to fuel or to flame. This same balance is reflected on the winglets in its back. These are not true wings, but twin sails which vent the excess heat emanating from their bodies after a fit of fire breathing. They can lay them flat or expand them, which has led to stories that this is in fact a six-limbed dragon, mistakenly so. This same temperature control is why they love the water so much. Like all plants in this world, the reeds have come to rely on dragons for their life cycles. They grow fast on the newly fertile soil, or they disperse their seeds through the explosions caused by the fire. In regards to the eggs, Maidstoker eggs are knobbled and stony in texture, laid in tall nests of river grass. Like a makeshift castle, the group comes together to ensure protection against predators such as the Sudanot. An evolved Tenrek who will receive his own video shortly. Now, where can a Maidstoker be found? The riverlands and waterfalls of Sudanside make a perfect habitat, and it is where they are most common. This temperate location offers the ideal mix of water and summer warmth for these large reptiles. They can additionally be found in adjacent bogs and low country of Sorrowwood, which is comprised of the twisted, heaving palm. These plants can be seen moving with the naked eye as their coils twist ever tighter. Maidstoker found here are rarer and more elusive than the Sudanside population. They lay in slow-moving rivers and vanish into the morning fog. Now, finally, what is the survival plan when encountering this dragon? Let's checklist. The Maidstoker cannot fly, but can swim very well. It has a near inexhaustible flame, yet it is blinded by rage. It has vulnerable eyes, but almost a 360-degree vision with them. So what can we do with this? The first is to always have an escape route. An elevated position will help avoid detection if available, or a clear route to one at least. Take advantage of its heavy body and inability to fly. It will crash through most buildings otherwise. Something to note is that their aggression draws them to exposed settlements to vent their frustrations on, burning them to the ground. Avoid setting up camp near bodies of water if possible, and remove strong scents such as those made by cooking. Trailing campfires will be seen as a direct challenge to the dragon as well. As established, all dragon bodies are laced with iron, strengthening their scales, muscles, and teeth. However, some areas are better protected than others. Here's the highest metal content in a Maidstoker's body, concentrated in the forearms, legs, and tail. This leaves their raised, stalk-like eyes vulnerable to an attack. This could take on many forms, from attempts to burn them, to covering them, or chemically searing them. Ensuring it could no longer see you is the key to escape. If you are underprepared and one is outside your camp one night, try mimicking a dragon's call to alert it that it may not be alone, particularly if that call mimics that of the Great Kinsbane or the Spectacled Dreadeye, both of which it is wary of. A flaming arrow shot over its head and back to whence it came may send it to investigate the fire and lose interest as well. As herbivores, they are not hunting for food, they are hunting out of anger, boredom, and territoriality. As such, they may be more easily discouraged than a desperate, starving carnivore, but they are more prone to mass killings if left too far, whereas a carnivore would be content with just one large meal. The locals assume that any body of water houses a dragon, joking that even rain-created puddles will spring to life with the flames of the Maidstoker. A notable case had a mid-sized male chained up to a ruined supply tower. Its proximity to water ensured the individual actually survived each time it was checked up on. This constraint stunted its growth to half of its normal adult size, but has offered invaluable chances to study the species in its semi-natural state. He is known as Reaching Blue for his scale color and tendency to strain to reach fresh growth. He fires at anyone who gets too close, but his quasi-containment is considered a small victory for the people in the face of overwhelming draconic pressure. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's been a while since I did a proper dragon profile, as I've been so busy with book deliveries and getting a proper shop set up. Etsy they've given me a lot of problems. In terms of locking my account, I have not even been paid for the books I've sent out yet. So I'm seeking other options and trying to get to their HQ to see what the problem is. But regardless, I'd like to take a second for our artist spotlight. Zanger Art, who did this wonderful painting of the Crown Sunscourge over on our Discord, did a fantastic job capturing the mood, likeness, and application of paint to create something truly charming and extremely cool. Thank you for this wonderful painting, and if you'd like to be considered for the Artist Spotlight Challenge, throw a little something over in the Discord. We have a great community over there. We talk about all kinds of things, art being one of them, and it's just a great place to be. Thank you again, man. I really appreciate it. And of course, I'd love to thank my patrons. I could not do this without you, and you are the spinal cord, the backbone of this entire channel and my ability to continue to create in such turbulent times that we are in. So thank you, and thank you especially to my top patrons who are listed here. Alright, well, I will see you all in the next video. Take care.